Hi there! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I thought today would be the perfect day to start a cozy reading vlog because as soon as I started filming it actually started pouring out. So I actually hope that you can hear it a little bit because rain is always so cozy, so it would create an extra ambiance to this video. I heard it's going to be really cold and really rainy. This week, so I thought it would be perfect to do a cozy fall reading vlog. So I actually got some books together for this video's TBR, I suppose. Most of these are from my fall TBR. I have been making a really good dent to my fall TBR, but I want to continue the streak, so I'm going to keep reading those. Let me tell you a little bit about the books that I have here. The first one I have is The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. This is actually the first one that is not on my fall TBR, but in my book shopping video you probably saw that I got this one as a free little gift, and it's a novella in the Bone Season series. So I am so excited to actually start reading this and maybe get excited for the Bone Season series and start reading that one potentially, maybe in winter, I don't know. I am going to prioritize my fall TBR for now, so I don't know, maybe I will start reading that in winter. So I guess we will see, and I think this one will be perfect for this video. Hallo! Naar beneden. The next one I maybe want to read in this vlog is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I actually also bought this one in my book shopping video, so I thought it would be really cool to read this in this vlog so we can both see if I like it or not. This is a little bit more of a longer book, so I don't think I'm going to start this right away, but I am so excited to read this, so I'm definitely going to try to read this in this video. I also have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I really want to try reading this one too, and it is on my fall TBR, but for some reason it's giving me more of the extra cold fall days, like almost wintry fall days. December fall days, because yes, December is still fall. Although it really doesn't feel like it. But maybe I'm going to save this one for December, potentially. I don't know yet. And the final physical one I have is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I also really want to read this. This is a sci-fi. The second one in the Red Rising series. And I really want to read this one too, but I don't really know which one I'm going to start with yet. Because they all sound really good to me. And they are on my fall TBR, like I have said multiple times now. I just really want to try to finish my fall TBR, okay? Of course, I do have some more books on my fall TBR, but most of them I don't own or I'm just not in the mood for. So these are actually the ones that I wanted to pick between. And I actually also have The Raven Boys on my Kindle, so I might actually also pick that one up. That is a possibility. And it's so exciting. But Spotify has finally made it available for us in the Netherlands to actually also listen to audiobooks, so I might try that one too. I'm not really an audiobook fan most of the time, but it might just be the books that I have listened to on audiobook and maybe not just the format. So I'm really excited to actually try that one out and maybe do some cozy coloring or something. In my previous video bless me, I guess. In my previous video I told you that I was in a bit of a reading slump in the middle of The Tainted Cup, and I really enjoyed the book, but it was a little long and it took me so long to finish, so I actually think I'm going to start with The Pale Dreamer because it is only like 82 pages, so I think I'm going to manage that, so I will feel really accomplished that I finished another book, even if it's just a novella, you know? I don't know which I'll read next, and I don't think I'm going to finish all these books in this video. But you know, we will see when we get there. But for now, I'm going to start The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon, and I will keep you updated on my thoughts. Let's get reading. Oh, hi. I got a little distracted by the rain. Let's get reading for real now, okay? Hi friends! As you saw in the previous clip, I have been reading a little bit of The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. I am actually really enjoying it so far. I think that the writing style is really easy to get into and it's actually really enjoyable for me so far. This book is about Paige and she figures out that she is a clairvoyant, or a voyant in this world. She gets told that she might be the rarest of them all, but for some reason her powers haven't surfaced yet. She joins Jackson Hall, which is the most notorious mime lord in the city, and she basically agrees to join the criminal underworld. But ever since she joined, she actually only gets to do desk work until a very angry and aggressive poltergeist is on the loose and Jackson finally agrees to let her go into the field. I have been really enjoying it so far, but it is mostly a setup of some characters and world building, which I really don't mind. I'm really enjoying it, like I just said, but it does really feel like a prequel because we are getting to know the characters and you can definitely see that this is a setup for a larger story, which isn't a good or a bad thing, but I am really curious to see where this will go. I am really enjoying the writing style and I think it is very interesting that she is a clairvoyant, and I'm so interested to see what that will look like in the story or in the series overall. I didn't really think that I was going to be interested in that type of thing, but I'm actually really enjoying that part of it, so I'm really curious to see where it will go. So I'm excited to keep reading and I think I will be able to finish this tonight or maybe tomorrow. Normally I actually read more at night because I just enjoy that way more. I think it's so much more cozy than reading in the daytime. But my boyfriend and I have been obsessed with Stardew Valley ever since the update came out for console on the 4th of November. So we have been playing every single day for a week straight. So to the people who are familiar with Stardew Valley, we are already at the end of winter in our first year. For the people who don't know what that means, it just means that we have been playing for a very long time already. So that might be why I haven't been reading as much lately, but I really want to get into it a little more. So we will see if I read this tonight or we will finish it tomorrow. have finished The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon, and I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. As I told you, in the beginning of the story we mostly get some world building and some characters that are being set up, and the plot is a little bit more in the background, but the plot gets going so much more in the second half of the book, and I actually thought it was really suspenseful. I was on the edge of my seat for most of it. So the second half of the book was really interesting to me. The second half of the book was really easy to get through. I think it was so interesting to get a little preview of what the series is going to be about and that this world and these characters are being set up in this one. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars because I enjoyed it so much, and I'm actually so curious and interested in reading the Bone Season series now. So I think this novella did its job. I think that if this one says anything about the Bone Season series, that there is a very good chance that I might give the Bone Season 5 stars. Because the feelings and the vibe that this story was giving me was almost a 5-star feeling. I just don't think that giving 5 stars to a novella of 82 pages is fair, so I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. But I just know that I'm going to love the series if this is anything to go by. Again, I really enjoyed it. I mean, what more can you say about a book of 82 pages? But I'm so glad I got this one as a little gift because it was so fun to try this one out and get excited about a whole new series that I might start. I'm so glad I read it and I can't wait to check out the Bone Season. I think I'm going to try to check it out pretty soon, but like I said, I want to focus on my fall TBR first. But I really want to try it out. Maybe I will even ask for it for Christmas. Who knows? I'm so excited checking that one out after reading this one. I don't know if I want to jump into the next book right away, so I was thinking maybe we could start an audiobook. I was looking on Spotify and none of the books on my fall TBR are on there as an audiobook, except for City of Bones, but I really want to read that as a physical book, or it's actually on my Kindle, so I really want to read it on my Kindle, and I'm not in the mood for it right now. So I was actually looking at some other books and I found a couple of options actually. But I really wanted to try the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I have been eyeing this one ever since it came out in 2023, but I normally don't really read romance, so I was really hesitant buying the book. And now that it's on Spotify, I can finally listen to it as an audiobook and I don't have to buy it. I can just figure out if I like it or not. And I think this one is perfect for fall because it just gives some fall vibes. I mean, pumpkin spice. So I really want to try it, so I think I'm going to do that right now, and maybe we can do some cozy coloring together while I listen to the audiobook. I'll talk to you later when I listen to it for a bit and done some coloring. Good morning, it is a couple of days later, and because I finished The Pale Dreamer, I really wanted to pick a new book. I'm actually debating between reading The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern or The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, but for some reason I cannot choose for the life of me. I don't know what's going on. I am so bad at making decisions. I have decision fatigue when I have to decide what I want to eat for dinner. So it is never easy choosing books, but for some reason I'm struggling so much more to even pick one right now. I have read Goodreads reviews for both of them because I couldn't choose. Even then I didn't know what to read. So I decided to watch some reviews here on BookTube for both books and they just sound amazing. Both of them sound great. So how can I choose? I mean, I really want to read this one, but it is really big and I don't know if I want to read a very big book right now. And The Raven Boys is a little bit smaller, but it's the first one in a four book series. And I don't know if I'm ready to start a big series again. because I like to binge series and I don't have the rest in the series, so I just don't know what to read. I really want to read both because this one is about stories. I think it's about the art of storytelling. But The Raven Boys is a fantasy and there are clairvoyants in it, and I really like the clairvoyant aspect of the Pale Dreamer, so I don't know what to choose, okay? But I will have to eventually, so I will get back to you once I finally pick one. In the last clip you saw I started listening to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and do some coloring, but right after filming that clip I decided that I didn't like the colors I chose when I was coloring, and I wasn't enjoying the book so far. I just wasn't enjoying listening to it. But I have only listened to 4 minutes. So can I really say anything? No, I cannot. But I didn't like it regardless. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. So I just decided to stop everything and just lay everything down, do something else. And for some reason I wasn't really feeling like reading yesterday either. So I decided to just not film anything, just do something else, just watch a show. But now I really want to start reading again. And like I said, I just wasn't enjoying the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. But I have only listened to 4 minutes of it. But I don't mean to be rude, but I just really didn't enjoy the voice who was narrating the book. Is it mean? It sounds mean. I don't want to be mean. But I just wasn't enjoying it. But again, it was only 4 minutes, so I don't know what was going on. I am definitely going to give it another shot. I am definitely going to keep listening to it because what was that? I don't know. And because I really want to do something while listening, I actually have a cardigan that I knitted. I've been knitting up and it is actually finished, but after you knit something you have to block it, which I've never done with my knitting before. But I thought I would finally try it out because it is actually a necessary step in knitting. So I thought I would maybe try that. Blocking is essentially washing the cardigan or sweater or whatever using water or steam, and you can then lay it out however you want to, so you can essentially mold it into the shape you want. Then you have to let it dry and then you actually have the final garment. As you can see, I did make a cardigan and I have made a button band, but there are no buttons on it yet, so I also have to do that before it is finished. So I thought maybe we could do that together. I really hope it isn't boring for those of you who don't like knitting, but I really want to try it, so I hope you enjoy that. I will give you a little before and after. So this is what the cardigan looks like before I've blocked it. I also really enjoy it like this, but it is a little tight in some places and some of the stitches aren't looking that great. And with blocking you can actually try to smooth those out. So that's why I'm trying to do this. And yeah, I hope you don't think it is too boring, but I'm going to try to block it now and listen to some more of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And after I do that, I hope I have finally picked a book to read. We will see. Hello, please don't mind my hair. I literally just came out of the shower, but I really wanted to update you guys because I finally picked a book. Yeah. Okay, I can't take full credit for that though, because I was struggling so much picking one that my boyfriend ended up choosing a book for me. So I finally started reading The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I've actually started this book yesterday, and as you saw, I read a little bit more of it this morning. And I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm not far into it yet. I'm like 10% in, so maybe 50-ish pages. But I am enjoying it so much. We follow Blue, and she is from a family of clairvoyants and witches, mediums. But she doesn't really have powers herself. The only thing that she does is amplify someone else's powers. So in a family of magical creatures, she seems pretty ordinary, as her family is supernatural and they kind of base their job around being clairvoyant and witches and being mediums. Every year on the same day, Blue and her mother go to this church in town where her mother sees ghosts. Ghosts of people that are going to die in the next 12 months. And she uses this to tell people in the town that their loved ones are going to pass away. Blue is only there because she amplifies her mother's powers, but she can't see the ghosts herself. But this year is a little different because she sees the ghost of a 70-year-old boy who is really confused and seems only to be able to talk to Blue. And the reason she can see him is apparently because he is either her true love or she's the one who kills him. Which is really interesting because Blue has heard ever since she was young that she is supposed to kill her true love. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not far into it yet. The Raven Boys have just been introduced, not even all of them yet. So I am definitely still in the setup of the story, but I am really enjoying it. And again, I think the clairvoyant aspect is really interesting. So I'm so curious to read more. Of course, I blocked my cardigan yesterday, as you saw. It is finally dry, but I don't think if it did anything. Maybe I did the blocking wrong, I don't really know. But I really want to sew on the buttons today, so I might show that to you. And I have listened a little more to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I don't really know what to think about it just yet. I haven't really listened a lot to it. But I do know it's about Jeannie, and her aunt has left her the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So she jumps at the chance to be the new owner, and she lives above the cafe that is located in this small town. This book was recommended to people who love Gilmore Girls, and I am obsessed with Gilmore Girls. I think I have watched it 2 or 3 times now. I love it so much, so I thought this would be perfect and would be so cozy. But I don't really know what I think about it just yet, so we will see when I listen a little bit more to it. But my plans for today are reading a little bit more of the Raven Boys, listening a little bit more to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and try to sew on the buttons of my cardigan. So I think we're going to do it right now and try to make a really cozy day of it. So I'll see you when I read a little more of the Raven Boys or the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, preferably both. And I will hopefully tell you some more of my thoughts. Hey friends, it is another day and I am about 50% into it right now, and I just love this book already. I love the stories and the characters so much. There was one character I wasn't so sure about, but then he got a pet raven and I was sold. I love him now. Animal companions is one of my favorite tropes of all time, just as found family, and found family is so big in this story. I just love the relationship between all of the characters. Blue just met all of the Raven Boys, and I love her relationship with Adam, and I already love the banter between all of them, so I just cannot wait to see all of the relationships develop. This book takes me back to when I was younger and I had just discovered reading and everything felt so magical. And this is just definitely giving me those feelings again. Back then I could just binge a book and read the whole thing in a day, and this book is making me want to do that again. I think it is single-handedly getting me out of my reading slump. Safe to say I think this is going to be a 5-star read for me, but we will see what the ending has in store. I personally can't wait to find out. I just want to read it for hours on end, and that is exactly what I'm going to do today. So I will talk to you when I get further into it, or probably when I finish it. Hello everybody! Well, I finished The Raven Boys by Maggie's Stiefvater and I need the next book immediately. 5 stars, without a doubt. I love this book so much, the found family in it is amazing. I loved all the characters and I love to see their relationships develop. The ending was so action-packed and the second half of the book was full of twists and turns. I just know I would have been obsessed with the series when I was younger and this seriously would have been my whole personality. I haven't really read paranormal fantasy before, but I actually loved it so much. It was so magical and whimsical. We learned so much in this book, which is a sneak peek to everything that's going to happen in the rest of the series. We see little glimpses of what will happen to our characters in the future, but not how they come to be, and we have so many unanswered questions, and I'm such a sucker for stories like that. To me, the characters feel so real and fleshed out. It just feels like I know them, and that is also so magical to me. Again, the clairvoyant aspect was so interesting and I can't wait to read more about that. I heard some people say they think this book starts out slow and I don't think I agree with that. But I also really love cozy fantasy and slice of life, so I don't think I am the right person to say anything about that. So take this with a grain of salt. This is a YA book, but I personally don't think it is too YA, if that makes sense. The story is fairly easy to understand and the writing is easy to get into, but also so beautiful in my opinion. I even underlined a couple of quotes that I loved so much. But again, I am a big fan of YA, so I don't know what other people would think about that. Definitely let me know what you thought if you've read it. There are also some heavier topics in here like abuse that were a little hard to read sometimes. But these scenes sparked conversations between me and my boyfriend, which were so interesting and I really love when a book is able to do that. Overall, I just really love this book if you didn't pick up on it already. I would definitely recommend this one and I completely understand why this has such a cult following. I am in love. I'm going to try to pick up the next book as soon as possible. But for some reason when I try to order it online, it is really expensive and it won't be shipped out until the end of December. And I don't know what the deal with that is. But I'll definitely see if my local bookstore has it in stock. More updates to come. It is snowing outside, which is crazy. It is not even the end of November yet. But it is very cozy, I'll give it that. But that's why it's a little gloomy and grey in here. Oh yeah, as you can see, I am wearing the finished cardigan. I'm really happy with it. It fits well and it is so cozy and warm. I actually really like the colors and I think the buttons are so cute as well. They actually fit perfectly. I don't know if the blocking did anything, but I am still really happy with it. And I actually think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this. But of course, you came here to hear me talk about books. Still, I am a little further in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and I'm liking it a little more than when I last updated you. But I just still don't really know what to think about it. Romance isn't really my genre and I typically don't really listen to audiobooks. So that might be why I am not enjoying it as much. But I really like the small town setting, although it really feels like a blatant ripoff of Gilmore Girls. This is recommended to people who love Gilmore Girls, but I thought it would be inspired by it or just have the same vibes. But it just feels so similar, a little too similar maybe? I mean, the main couple is a grumpy sunshine trope, which is just like Luke and Lorelai. And the love interest in the book is called Logan, which is also the love interest of Rory in the show. And we also see a dancing studio owner and an annoying mayor. And the author's name is Laurie Gilmore. And I know she can't help that, but yeah, I don't know. So, not loving the book, not hating it. I am only 12% in so far. So I don't know if it will become its own story, but so far it just feels a little unoriginal to me, unfortunately. To be really honest, I don't know if I'm going to continue listening to it, but we will see. Since this is the end of the vlog, let me give you a little summary of all the books I've read in this video. I will go through these quickly since I already talked about them quite a lot, so let's go through them. The first one was The Pale Dreamer by Samantha Shannon. This was such a happy surprise. I thought it was really good and a perfect setup for the rest of the series. It actually made me really excited to start the rest of the Bone Season series. I gave this one 4 stars. Next up is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. Not loving this one so far, as I said, but it is giving me my Gilmore Girls fix for this fall. I haven't finished this one though, so I won't give you a rating. And lastly, The Raven Boys by Maggie's Stiefvater. This is one of the easiest 5 stars I have ever given to a book. One of my new favorites for sure. I love the paranormal elements. It felt so magical and whimsical. Perfect for fall, even though it is set during spring. I actually read this on my Kindle, which I normally don't really do a lot because I'm more of a physical book kind of girl. I actually really enjoyed reading this one as an ebook. I'm going to try to get my hands on the second book as soon as possible. Preferably the physical copy though. And I will give you updates when I finally get it. So in total I've read 2.5-ish books. I'm not that fast of a reader and I have been in a bit of a reading slump, so there aren't a lot of books in this video. Maybe I'll try reading a little more in a future video since I'm no longer in a reading slump. And I know I said I was going to read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern and I'm so disappointed that I didn't get to it in this video, but I promise I will get to it soon. But that's actually all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. It is a bit of a longer one, but I loved filming it so much. It was such a cozy fun time. But as always, let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought about them. I really hope to see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!